Adam Aron's critical message, banks getting short squeezed, and more are covered in today's video. First, we're inspecting. A week ago, we reported that over 4 million people visited AMC theaters worldwide over the weekend. More than 5.5 million people visited a theater this weekend. We announced this morning. A lot of popcorn. We're seeing attendance rise again at AMC, and we can expect ticket sales to show how we're attracting more viewers. This is due to AMC's advancements. Yes, we can talk about AMC on social media, but AMC's actions are what draw millions of people. This shows that AMC's expenditures and upgrades are paying off. Since we're looking at 5.5 million, you can expect revenue. But revenue is separated into several sections, which is why Adam Aron focused on popcorn. He's implying that these guests bought popcorn, drinks, and other AMC viewer expected items. Now, this is something that is going to add on to the revenue of AMC, and I definitely think that this may be something that people are overlooking, that people won't expect when it aids AMC's number. And so this is what we are going to be looking at, not just for this quarter, but going into next year, we are going to be seeing how AMC is only going to double down on. This how AMC is going to really cut their operational cost, whilst their revenue is improving, whilst the profit margin is improving, and that's what we are already seeing, and we have to understand this firstly when we take a look at just the overall. For this year, we already talked about how record attendance is doing very well, but something else that you have to understand. That could have put AMC and the box office in even better position is the Michael Jackson biopic looks to be over $1 billion globally and was supposed to be in this quarter that would have radically shifted the conversation on the 2025 box office as Mortal Kombat 2 was also supposed to be in this quarter. Michael and Mortal Kombat 2 would have meant huge year-over-year gain in this quarter. Q1 had a strike hangover in terms of titles, which this Q1 confirms. It's not ongoing. The forecast for 2026 is better than anything since 2019. Most successful box office in 7 years. Lower interest rate, higher ad revenue, lucrative grocery shop, popcorn company, and lower debt. AMC looks much great up close. Just like what Adam Aron said earlier, there is a lot more to consider. Not just what happened in the short term, but how it affects the long term, because the box office has already done well. AMC capitalized on this opportunity, but the potential was much greater. AMC has done well, but imagine how well they'll do in 2026. Outside variables like lower loan rates and higher ad income help AMC. These will improve. Remember, AMC is paying off debt. While reducing the interest rate already cuts the interest payment, AMC paying off huge amounts of loans will also reduce the interest payment. AMC's cash flow will improve next year. This time, we discussed this news with AMC. You can see how well they're doing, but the media and institutions' goals. Despite daily increases, AMC Holdings underperforms competitors Monday. As we look at AMC and how they're performing, the news article remains unfavorable. Still seeing how they compare AMC to competition. AMC has done nicely, but we're down 3.55%. They say it's failing against competition. Not addressing AMC's improvement, potential, or prediction. Avoid discussing AMC's dark pool pressure and institutional ownership against its competitors. It only mentions its inferiority to competitors. When we see these articles and these bad sentiments, we must comprehend what is going on. There will be negative effects for AMC. AMC isn't flawless and makes mistakes. Our efforts have been quite great for AMC, but the media always tries to put a negative gloss on it. An easy comparison. The first 9 months of 2025 saw 4% domestic box office growth over 2024, over the same period. AMC's revenue rose 7%. Domestic box office is predicted to climb 1% in 2025. AMC revenue to climb 3% and $139 million. We talked about how box office was poor in Q1 due to the strike, but it changed substantially after the after effects cleared. AMC clearly outgrown that. In addition, AMC has had record EITA in certain months this year. We're also seeing how they broke records for concessions, attendance, and other things. which shows how well AMC is going to do in the future and all the things they're still trying to implement and improve. We know how well AMC is doing, improving, outgrowing the market, and outperforming itself. With that in mind, you must comprehend what is happening. We discussed this, however. AMC is doing great, but what are longtime short sellers doing? Super short sellers against AMC since early 2021? Scana hedged nearly 2 million long. AMC shares with 2.1 call put options on 6.2 million more? Think they flipped long. As we discussed earlier, all of these short sellers who have been really negative on AMC and shorting it start to flip their positions, at least their open public positions. We discussed how the filings you can't discuss hide the synthetics and naked shorts. We've always seen that these folks' synthetic shorts, as revealed in their public filings, overshorted AMC. As we discuss everything with AMC and see its potential, we're seeing them flip long or net long. This is one example among many. Also, net long on AMC is Citadel. Goldman Sachs is net long AMC and eliminated all short positions. We're seeing so many institutions long AMC, which just proves its power. They want to acquire as much as possible because they know AMC has potential. I did this since AMC was halted 38 times in one day, so you have to remember how much pressure they put on these individuals. This wasn't investor protection. This was about slowing momentum and shaking retail out, because AMC is 75% owned by retail. Therefore, if they wanted to protect retail investors, they wouldn't have stopped AMC. Before the halt, AMC was rising, which helped retail. They simply stopped it to protect institutions from losing hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars. HRMC moved 0% on Friday during silver's 10% climb up. HMC traded 5.14 million shares, doubled the already high average. Silver is retreating, and HMC is falling quicker on no volume. Those watching the market are noticing how the silver market is reacting. You're seeing volatility. HYMC's market inaction is what we're looking at. Many things can be said about this. HMC increases help AMC, thus I want to emphasize it. It boosts AMC's confidence, hurting short sellers. By reducing HYMC, they're trying to suppress AMC. So this may be why. That's why we wanted to look. You may see another dies. Banks failed overnight. Miss margin call. Hidden names, liquidated before sunrise. I'm excited to discuss this and want you to pay attention because of its significance. This hypothetical post discusses a systemically important bank large futures play, failed to pay its margin call, and was liquidated by futures exchange. The sources don't name the bank, but the Federal Reserve had to inject $34 billion overnight. So this is crucial, and I want to discuss who this could be and what it means for us. First, the Fed, the last resort, lent another $26 billion. Like we said, the repo is something they discussed and don't want, unless it's the final thing they require. So seeing this rise shows they need it desperately. Silver just had a big rise when you connect the dot. Comics increased precious metal margins. Because traders must post more cash instantly, margins rise. Fast cash outflow. Banks compete for cash. The Fed provides $25.9 billion to keep the fight pipes flowing. We know the margin requirement. They're getting margin calls. This might signify what? First, UBS was caught spoofing silver futures in 2018. Credit Suisse toxic GM legacy swap bags. How will this end? First, UBS was affected before. Their history shows this. This is relevant now because of the AMC GMC swap. They have GAMC and GME swaps. If they're affected, and they may be, you'll see a lot of AMC and GME swaps flown. These must be revealed and covered or inherited by another bank, which will bring it down. The LBMA lists UBS as a market maker and clearing member. Deep underwater GME equity swaps inherited from Credit Suisse also weigh UBS down. We discussed whether they are being invented to be impacted by the silver call. This is big. Additionally, 29 worldwide systemically important. Banks exist in 2025. We can exclude most for various reasons and limit the list to see who remains. UBS is no surprise on the short list. Number 1, with silver derivative books and exposure. All of these lead to UBS. As mentioned, UBS is being short squeezed, thus this is crucial. We discussed exposing these trades. The other bank listed is Bank of America. We discussed this post on December 16th. Bank of America is short. 44.7 billion silver at $664, averaging $25 to $30. We're seeing it even higher in the 7 South and 80s. This is also critical for Bank of America, which may be getting margin called. You must grasp their Citadel relationship. Bank of America is Citadel's main lender. Citadel has the money and ability to short and depress AMC due to its prime broker and lender. If Bank of America is margin called, its liquidity will be in a difficult situation and they may force recall shares. Putting Citadel in a bad position and forcing AMC shorts to be covered,